At best, we are vessels carrying our shapes through space and time. Our outlines mark the place where we end and the universe around us begins. We have a way of telling ourselves apart from the womb that birthed our story. Nature, water, forest, earth. We utter these words as if they had little to do with who we are. This is the sense of separation that has brought us here, the Anthropocene. As much as it has been our nature to affect nature, to alter the spaces we inhabit, today is about a handful few who through their resolute actions have shed the layers of separation and remind us that we are nature. That the story of forest, ocean, earth, and our own is one story. In their unshakable conviction, we see mountains. In their will to push forward, we see rivers. In their courage to persevere, we see forests, trees, mangroves. In caring, in paying attention, in listening, in loving the landscapes they inhabit. Today, inhabit them. To meet them is to meet the species, the places, the voices, the untold wonders of our nation. Today is about their story of becoming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Zafar Karachiwala, and I am deeply honored to be your host for the 24th Annual Sanctuary Wildlife Awards. Tonight, we're honoring India's finest wildlife defenders, the heroes dedicated to safeguarding the amazing biosphere we call home. And in our midst, we have a quiet, reticent man. Although best known as a banker, he's also the chairman of DSP Asset Managers and the India chairman of the Nature Foundation's Advisory Board, the world's largest conservation organization. As the founder of the Wildlife Conservation Trust, he recently received the prestigious Oak Leaf Award for his lifelong dedication to Indian conservation. Mr. Hemendra Kothari, sir. Would you mind sharing the stage with us and sharing a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Karachiwala. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a great pleasure to face you on this particular day where Sanctuary Awards are presented. It's since 2 decades and over, we have an association with Sanctuary. To me, coming to meet Bittu Sahgal, he has in last 20 years become a very close friend. He and I started going to forests around 20 years back, including as good as finding taroba and creating taroba into a large national park. When we are going, there is not a single person coming from Bombay, not a single person coming even from Nagpur, or as good as hardly any. Today it is thriving, it is expanded by having the buffer zone, also the visitors' heaven. I wanted to just say about in 2004-05, there was a lot of poaching taking place. Just before that, I started the Wildlife Conservation Trust. And we decided to call and talk and take assistance from all the business senior people, from Tatas to Birlas to Mahindra, etc. And we wrote to the Prime Minister that time and asked the government that a lot of poaching is taking place, tigers are disappearing, and various other species are missing. So that's where we go, and we saw from that it turned the corner. So you give a lot of marks to Bittu for suggesting, and I was there to assist him. I will not take too much of your time, but it's the old memories of going to the forest and enjoying forest, which most of you must have gone, but if not, you should visit. India has wonderful forests, wonderful sanctuaries and national parks. I hope you go and enjoy there. I've seen in last 5 to 7 years, particularly last 7, 8 years, a lot of youngsters have started and going to forests, which gives me a lot of joy. Thank you very much. I hope we see you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We owe you gratitude, Mr. Kothari, for backing India's tigers and being sanctuary's backbone for decades. I would now like to invite on stage a man that needs no introduction. Well, actually, I wouldn't just call him a man. You know, he's a veritable force of nature. He's like a ball of energy when you're around him. He is empirical proof that if you're on the side of nature, universe conspires to make things just happen for you. I, for one, I'm curious to know how he and his incredible team stay positive and upbeat despite all the negative news, on pollution, deforestation, floods, and this climate catastrophe that we're facing. To help alleviate these pressing issues and guide us through this evening's honors, please join me in welcoming on stage the editor of Sanctuary Asia and the head of the Sanctuary Nature Foundation family, Mr. Bittu Sahgal. The stage is yours, sir.
Oh, good man, Charlie Brown.
Thank you.
What to say, Hemendra Bhai? I have no real words to express what you just expressed, This is not a spectator sport, and this is not something anyone can do alone. I can just say this to you, that, I want to publicly state how your love for tigers brought our families together. From those families were born institutions and, a journey that is very difficult really to encompass in just an evening like this. So, Zafar, you asked how Sanctuary remains positive and hopeful. Well, one of the reasons is that the average age of our constituency is about 12 to 15. Now, these kids, they don't have any real cynicism, They don't talk something and do something else. And apart from that, I always say that there are only two political parties in the world. One is the Buddha party, I'm part of that, and one is the Bacha party, and that's what we are working for. So I would put it like this. One of the reasons I'm hopeful, Zafar, is that I know for a fact that they'll outlive us, because we have not been very good planet managers. And yet, the children know something. 12-year-old children know something. It's just one single word called homeostasis. You get fever, you start sweating, you get cooled down. You feel cold, you start shivering, you warm down. Everything is supposed to be in balance, and the whole planet is like that. The whole planet is like that. How can we not be hopeful? And the other thing is that we are all specks, tiny, tiny little specks, and I don't think that the wisdom of the years is lost on us. I'm not religious or anything like this, but I have a great deal of respect for the Gita. And it just says, do what you do and let the cards fall where they will. That's my abridged version of the Gita that says, just do what you do. Do the right thing. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter who gets the right thing done. In my case, I've got very powerful people. Hemendra Barai is over there. He's helping to get things done which I could never get done on my own. But I must say this, that at this point in time, we support young people, but they are petitioning their elders. All of us read the papers and all of us see what's happening on television. And they're asking for wars to be stopped. They want wars to be stopped. We should have learned. My generation should have learned. I mean, forget about my listing the wars in Vietnam and this and that. They should have learned that war doesn't do anything for the environment and war wins nothing for anyone. But when I talk to the children, what I tell them is that we are also engaged in a war. So are you kids. It's the mother of all wars. It's the war we've declared on nature, and it cannot be won. We cannot win the war against nature. And the kids, just like that. They understand exactly what you're saying, and then they say, we will pitch in and we will do something. And all I say is that it's the easiest thing in the world. You'll hear this more often than now, but a scrape on your elbow or a cut on your knee heals itself, the planet heals itself. And that's how we tell our children. We prevent them from suffering ecological grief because we tell them that nature can fix itself. But we cannot tell them a lie that, la 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 la, everything is okay, don't worry, everything. It's not okay. We've got a fever. We've got a problem. We've got a liver problem. We've got to rest ourselves. So this is something that the children are helping us to teach their parents that, look, if you really want to give us something, give us air we can breathe, give us water we can drink, give us food that's safe. Today in Dubai, COP28, there are a whole lot of people gathered from around the world. And we had there are at least about 24 of the people that we work with sitting down there in COP, and what we've told them is the Conference of Parties, for the UNFCCC. What we said is that without working with nature and turning its magical self-correcting mechanisms to our advantage, Hemendra Barai, there is no technology known. Don't let anybody fool you. There is no technology in existence today that can save us if we continue to put more carbon into the atmosphere, because the only difference between Earth and the other planets is that little thing called atmosphere. Otherwise, we'd be just a rock in space. And at this moment in time, we don't have the luxury to think that kal koi aur kar dega. It's now or never. It literally is. Elvis said it before me, and it used to be that the environmentalists used to shout about things like this. Today, it's the economists shouting. Today, it's the insurance and the reinsurance people shouting. There's a 14,500 crore rupee claim made for the Sikkim dam that bust. And already people are scattering all over, saying, how are we going to pay this? Well, you don't take the risk. You don't know how to take the risk. So environmentalists actually have a very much lower job to do than those people who are in the insurance business, those people who are in the banking business, those people who know how to run the machinery without putting sugar in the tank. That's what we have to do. So, Partho Dasgupta, Lord Nicholas Stern, Oxford, Cambridge, all of them, they now ratify what we had said. But this is not a, see, we told you so kind of thing. It's just that say, all right, now we know this, let's go down and let's roll up our sleeves and fix it. And one thing that I tell children, and I will say this to their parents as well, look, just the way that the children suffer ecological grief, I suffer ecological grief, you suffer ecological grief. But everything will be all right. We just have to leave things alone. The pandemic showed us blue skies. The pandemic showed us the Yamuna River, which you can't even look through. You could see fish, something like 8 or 10 feet underneath. The pandemic showed us that animals began to come closer and say, these guys are not so angry with us. They're not hurting us anymore. We just have to leave it alone, Cyrus, and that's all. That's all. It's not how much money we spend to fix the earth. It's how much money we spend not to destroy the earth. That is the secret of everything at the moment, because it really is self-repairing. So let me say that nothing of this, Hemendra Barai, would have been possible without supporters. And at this point, I miss one man. I miss many men. I miss Salim Ali, but I miss Saurabhji Godrej, He took us under wing, remember, in 1981. And he said that that magazine that you produced, you tell me what you have to do and what do we have to do to make sure that it keeps running. And are you a long-term player or are you just going to start a magazine and close it down? Well, it's 43 years later, Saurabhji, we're still there. We're still there. We also owe our deep gratitude to those who have entrusted us with money that they've given us, you know. I mean, we have a serious CSR partners. Hemendra, your friend Deepak Parekh couldn't come here today. I was a little upset. Why didn't he come? But nevertheless, thank you, H.T Parekh Foundation. You are really helping us to do a lot of good work in Calcutta and the Sundarbans, and it's fantastic. You know, Morningstar, it's a ratings agency, it's this, it's that, it's so many things, but it's Aditya Agarwal. Where are you? Wherever you are, Aditya, a big hug for you. Because, I mean, honestly, it's these, we go to the finance people and the banking people because we want them to know that the old battles are gone. We're on the same page fighting for the same thing. There's only one goal. There's no two goals over there. And that goal is to bring everything back to stability. Rupa, you're here somewhere. You'll be on the stage a little later. But IndusInd Bank, what you're doing is you're allowing us to go out to children in villages, in small villages outside the national park. Like Morningstar is giving us the facility to go down to 45 villages around Ranthambore. The same thing is being done by IndusInd, and they trusted us with this money, and we will use every rupee that you send us, and we will use it well, and we will keep you informed, and we will also maintain all those, what is it called, compliances. Promise you, you know. Bajaj Electricals and Paryavaran Mitra. I tell you something, you know, we have such wonderful people. Shekhar is here. But Anant Bajaj was my friend. He was my friend. He was a young man with a future, and he passed away much too soon. But Anant, your mission continues. Your family is helping, children are helping, and we will win in the end. We have Kara Tejpal here who started something called Mud on Boots. It was a project which is simply that, just mud on boots, you know. The people, all of us, we could be the world's largest NGO, but we depend upon the person who's putting that fire out. Somewhere or the other, we are depending upon the person who's moving those poison, checking out if there's any poison in the thing so tigers don't die. So that the electric wires are not stretched so that elephants are not killed and tigers are not killed. So those are the guys with the mud on boots. And I could go on, and I won't go on, but I will say this, that in 2014, we started something called the Cocoon Conservancies. Cocoon Conservancies were community-owned, community-operated nature. That's where Cocoon comes from, conservancies. And we went out and spoke to a lot of people, and essentially, we are now part of something called the Global Rewilding Alliance Network. It has 130 different organizations seeking to rewild the earth, because the simplest of simple things is that when a plant grows, it pulls carbon down. And there is no way known to human beings. Forget about carbon capture and all. You have to do that because we can't wish away coal immediately, or oil or gas. But in the interim, please know that there's already a stack of carbon there. To pull it down, we will need plants, we will need to regenerate grasslands, wetlands. We'll need to do that because these are the infrastructures of survival. They are also the infrastructures of economics. Because as we discover in the Himalaya today, I mean, our economy will be trashed if we continue to fight against the Himalaya. We can't do that, and we won't do that. We will learn, and we will manage to get things done quite well. With us today, we have an icon who believes in sanctuary, who believes in the beauty, strength, and resilience of our planet. May I request the one and only Zeenat Aman to come up on stage and demonstrate her support and deep feeling. Yeah. And the rest of it she will tell you.
This Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Thank you, Zeenat. That was as beautiful as it was moving. What did we do with our one wild and precious life is a question our children are going to ask us as they write the history of our troubled times. But tonight, we're gathered to celebrate the near anonymous people who answer Mary Oliver's questions by being the change they want to see. What Gandhiji advised a long time ago. We don't have to be perfect, we just have to try, and we have to know that we go in the right direction, not the opposite way. So here is, let me just share some of the images that we have, Sanctuary, to nature photographers, they're our backbone. Without them, we are nothing. We were nothing in 1981, we'd be nothing now without them. And in memory of their late father, Kunj Trivedi, a wildlife photographer par excellence himself, his family entrusted us, Sanctuary, with locating and encouraging conservation photographers. Kunjbhai, this is for you. And incidentally, our judges had no idea, when we judge images, we don't have the name of the photographer. And we get thousands of images, so we just judge by the image, so we never know right till the end who's going to win what. Arnav Deshpande, Curves of the Night. There they go, our judges, wonderful people from all over. Anish, wait, when we come back, I'll settle your hash. Where on earth? He's not here today. How dare he, But, so, have I got the wrong one? I do. All right. Arko Saha. A beautiful bouquet. Is that the right one? Finally. I'm not going to get shot. These are the images from the young photographers category, which we started. We wanted to get them young. Now, it's beautiful to look at. That's one thing. But just take a look at the fact that that scimitar-shaped beak is made just the same way as that flower. Darwin had said this long ago. Evolution has its own way, and it's the propagation. There's nothing in nature that doesn't have purpose. All the beauty has purpose. So 12-year-old Arko captured the image while in West Bengal's Rishok village, and he won third prize as young photographer. Arnav Deshpande, Curves of the Night. This is in Mathiran's exquisite Western Ghats plateau forests on a foggy night. 17-year-old Arnav Deshpande backlit this sinewy Bedouin's cat snake. For his wild spirit, for his creativity, he won a joint second prize at the Sanctuary's Young Photography category. . Naira Dicky Singh. Will fly for food. That's a skittering frog, caught mid-leap while attempting to grab a bee snack in the Ranthambore pond. For her patience, understanding of animal behavior, and hair trigger reflexes, 12-year-old Naira, who is with us somewhere in this hall. It's too dark, Naira, I can't see you. Wherever you are, I love you. She wins a joint second prize in the Young Photographers category. Swastika Mukherjee, Circle of Life. A pair of Himalayan toads seeks to bring forth more Himalayan toads. And in this tiny, watery universe, stocked with a stream of eggs, this high-altitude species, I hope I've got Zongu right in Sikkim, 17-year-old Swastika's technical skills won her the first prize for the Young Photographers category. For so long, we were stuck on the ground or we had to go and fly a plane, but now we got drones, you know. Sometimes we use them for very good purposes. Now, in this one, we started a drone category. A sambar, it's a face-off with a feral dog in the Annamalai Tiger Reserve. It's a well-composed image. But really what this image is doing is something a normal photographer can't do. From the top, he's telling us exactly what the problem is. We all love dogs. But if you love dogs and then abandon them, then they're going to go after wildlife. In that case, you're setting up a false opposition. Nevertheless, for this quietly dramatic image, Dhanuparan won the third prize in the drone category. And then we have drones. They tell us the truth. Lalit Ekanaike, wastelands. Look at that. This is a herd of Asian elephants. Do they have any damn business to be walking on plastic like that? It's a designated dump. What is wrong with us? Why would we do this? Why should we do this? We don't have to do this at all. This heartbreaking scene is emblematic of the Anthropocene. Plastic waste threatens the survival of wild and domestic animals. For his presence of mind and his camera skills, Lalit Ekanaike won second prize in the drone category. And we have Ruqya Muhammad, Invasion of the Ecosystem Snatchers. Really, it's, urbanization is swallowing the lungs. It's like organ trade, you know. We have to use our lungs, we have to use our liver, but you don't sell it for a single malt, you know. And we have to understand what the value of what we're doing is. So these are hardcore infrastructures that are being trashed by people who don't understand what these infrastructures are really giving us. They're enabling everything. For reams of scientific papers would not have done what one of these pictures do. Ruqya Muhammad was awarded first prize in the drone category. And all of us, we buy art, we like art, we go to museums, we look at art. So we just decided to experiment and we said, let's have a category called Art in Nature. And the judges honed in on their images. I mean, we have Agnivar Ghoshal, Breathtaking Silhouette. I mean, I try my level best. I am incapable of taking images like this. This is an Indian fox in a paddy field in Guskara in West Bengal. This dreamlike sequence, the scene, soft lighting emphasizes a Bengal fox's silhouette. The photographer tracked the foxes for days and in advance went and placed a strategic spotlight somewhere to obtain this ethereal effect that I think Disney would be very proud of too. But it was very real. So we have Dr. Devendra H. Chauhan. It's called Echoes in the Dark. I love bats, you know, and I mean, we've gone around into bat caves, but I would never get a picture like this. These are bats flying past a strip of barely visible sky beyond the mouth of the cave near Baroda in Gujarat. Those thin orange membranes of the bat's wing, they were lit by the light flooding in, and it's otherwise a monochromatic image. It's just beautiful, you know. And for this, he was awarded the second prize in this category. And Arnab Devnath, Eye in the Sky. You know, when the judges came to this one, I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it and I couldn't figure it out first, But it's a lynx spider. It captured its prey dangling between two flowers, backlit by a street light in Kuch Behar. So what the photographer did was that he went around here and there and here and there, and he framed his subject behind behind the street light, and it looks like a feline-like pupil, with an elongated eye, and artfully framed it and captured it in such a way, in Kelvin mode, for those who are interested in hardcore photography. It was in Kelvin mode, and he was chosen for the first prize in the art category. All species on Earth, plant, animal, are dependent, and their success depends upon the ecological spaces that they've chosen to inhabit. So we had a category called landscapes and ecosystems, and Sushmita Reddy, it's called Catching the Wave. So that's actually a beautiful picture, but Erich, it's a tragedy because, this is an olive ridley turtle that came ashore to lay her precious eggs. And in this case, the fragmented Rushikulya beach in Odisha didn't offer a suitable nesting site to her. Between rising seas and vanishing sands, they need, these creatures have been around for millions and millions of years, and they keep our oceans clean. And this powerful image won Sushmita Reddy a third prize. We have photographers and we have photographers and we have photographers. Look at this. I call this Blue Note. The judges decided to call it Blue Hour, but through bone-chilling temperatures, Hira Punjabi took this picture, and it was something else. It was a wetland in Hokkaido in Japan, well before sunrise, as the red-crowned cranes were stirring. In this Blue Hour, the Japanese people look upon the bird as a symbol of immortality. But tragically, the birds are in decline because of the rapidly shrinking wetlands. Without wetlands, the birds can't live. And those same wetlands, by the way, are huge infrastructures. They feed people, they hold floods. In the drought time, they give us water. We've just got to reinvent economics to understand the value of these things. Hira Punjabi won second prize for this. Radhika, you've been to Mangala Jodi, and this Krishnakant Mathurya, scales versus feathers. This is a Mangala Jodi, is a small, beautiful, beautiful northern part of the Chilika Lake. It's a brackish water lake. And what we're seeing here is an immature Brahmani kite and a purple heron fighting over a victim, which happens to be a water snake. And it's protected now, this whole area. It used to be poachers and this and that and the other, but it's protected by fishermen who say that by showing the same thing to people again and again, we can earn much more money than catching XYZ fish or whatever it is. So today, millions and millions and millions of migratory and resident avians, they earn these people a sizable revenue, and I look forward to the day when local communities become the primary beneficiaries of tourism. And I see that happening not out of some largesse, I see it happening out of good business for the organizers and good business for the community. So Krishnakant Mathurya richly deserved first prize for this image. Every single judging session that takes place has, I want this, I don't like this, I don't like this. So I laid down one rule. I said, look, I'm just the editor of Sanctuary. I want one picture that I can choose myself every time, irrespective of what you guys choose. So they very graciously granted me that. And this time, Valmik Thapar and I selected one image out of the whole lot. The rule with him was that these images, the judges do, we'll choose one from the rest. But I thought this will meet the approval of our late friend Aditya Singh. He's a really, really good friend of mine who passed away, Ranthambore. And we honed in on this image shot by Sankesh Dedhia in Ranthambore. Aditya, this one's for you from Valmik and me. Huh? This is a tigress called Arrowhead in Ranthambore. She emerges from a lake, freshly captured soft-shelled turtle. Tigers are supreme hunters that stalk their prey, but this particular image was the result of a long wait which saw many unsuccessful attempts until she got this atypical meal. And now for the three top images in the photography. These were chosen from all categories. It wasn't as though we had a category that says XYZ, but we did have at the back of our mind something called Call of the Wild. So, Anjan Mukherjee, we call it Battle of the Unicorns. These are two male greater one-horned rhinos. When somebody says to another person, you scared the shit out of me, you can... It's quite literal sometimes, you know. So these two male greater one-horned rhinos, God knows what they were fighting for, but whatever it was, 3 tons of huge energy in like armored tanks in Kaziranga's diverse grasslands. One got wounded, gave way to the other, and Anjan Mukherjee won a joint 3rd prize. Jeswyn Kingsley, Right of Way. There's no dearth of drama for those who have the patience to stop and stare. If you go running after things all over, you might see something, but you'll see it in a flash. But you have patience to stop and stare, and something happens. Just look at the sizes of this. The sloth bear does this to let the leopard know that, look, I'm bigger than you, buddy, you know. And as far as the leopard is concerned, it's crouched like that, could run away. It could, in any case, I don't know. Maybe Parvesh, you'd know. I don't know who actually got... Oh yeah, it says the leopard wisely conceded first access to the water source in the Taroba Andhari Tiger Reserve. This was. So Jeswyn Kingsley, you got the joint 3rd prize for this wonderful image. Chitral Jaya Tilake, Lunge for Life. Unaware of the danger lurking below in the little, plant life there, a commonly shared resource, a herd of cheetal gathered to quench their thirst at Sri Lanka's Yala National Park. Unknown to them, waiting under the placid surface was a massive mugger crocodile that exploded into an attack. All the cheetals sprang away, out of harm's way, escaping bone-crunching death. The guy never got anything. All the cheetal got away. So, Chitral Jayatilake won 2nd prize. So now, friends, the Sanctuary Wildlife Photographer of the Year 2023 is Siddhartha Ghosh for this work of pure art titled Wild Wolf Dance. Honestly, I've been tramping forests for a very long time, and just seeing a wolf, is good enough. And look what this guy's got. They're elusive, but for the photographers amongst us, Kakubai, it was shot at a shutter speed of 1/1600th of a second at ISO 1250 with a 500 mm lens and an aperture of f4. For this natural history moment in the life of the wolves in Kumbargaon, Maharashtra, Siddhartha Ghosh has been chosen as the Sanctuary Wildlife Photographer of the Year 2023. Kakubai, may I request you to come on stage? May I request you to come on stage and present the award? Somebody please make sure that Kakubai has some light over there. I'd like you to come on stage. Kakubai, right here. Kakubai himself is a legend. He's a photographer's photographer. And may I ask you, Siddhartha Ghosh, to step up and receive the award from one of the finest photographers that I know. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your image spoke for itself. You heard what everybody had to, their response to this. So between still photography and videos, natural history is actually being rewritten, The things which we thought we knew and we imagined that we knew, everything is changing because the technology is changing and it's allowing us to look deeper into nature. So let's look at one fascinating example. The snake bird. that you see here, this exquisite bird, it's the darter. This is at Vedanthangal Bird Sanctuary near Chennai. It was a Boston-based photographer, Rajesh Mohan. He used cutting-edge technology. Now, hold on to your seats for this one. It enabled him to slow down 1.5 seconds. Everything that you're seeing took place in 1.5 seconds only. And he slowed that by 40 times. To do this, he used special camera to capture the mind-boggling hunt at 1,000 frames per second. I mean, that's in 1.5 seconds, all that drama took place. Good heavens. You know, David Attenborough said trials of life when he came up with, we don't know what the trials of life is, that neither the fish nor the bird really needs for us to do dakhal andazi in between and make it even more difficult, you know. By the way, the fish got away. So, amazing. Amazing. Itna bada drama in 1.5 seconds. So we saw this, image of what Valmik and me chose, and to honor our friend Aditya Singh, we also found a video of somebody else who had taken, it's Sankesh Dedia, who took a video of the same thing. Just take a look. I'm not going to speak over this at all. I've been around Ranthambore for a long time, and I've seen all these cats doing all kinds of things, jumping into the lakes, teaching their cubs to jump into the lakes. I've even seen them get sambar after sambar after sambar, but I've never seen them actually catch a turtle, because they say the turtle is very slow moving, but in water they're damn fast, but this wasn't fast enough. So, Aditya, this one is also for you. You would have approved. Nobody can do anything on their own. You could be the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of India, you could be the editor of Sanctuary magazine. You can't do anything, on your own. You need help, So we have a huge task on hand, and it requires us to be united. Well, Sanctuary is uniting with Animal Planet to reach millions of people, young and old, to use video, to conscript them into the battle to save our planet. Is that the one, or okay, there you go.
Majestic. Proud. Fast. Yet patient and caring. But their survival depends on us.
Thank you, Animal Planet. We've got a lot of work to do. So you see, it's like this art and imagery have always been global languages, and that's equally true of music, by the way. And as we are about to discover, I want to request Susmit Bose, a globally celebrated Kolkata-based musician and social reformer who brings to my mind shades of Bob Dylan, to step on stage and take us on a small musical journey to light the way to a better, less violent, and safer world.
Thank you for that warm welcome. Feel warm already. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments but narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into that dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Anandaloke Mongola Loke Birajo Shoto Shundara. Thank you. How good are you at singing? Are you? Yeah. You can. Wow. Okay, simple lines. This land is your land. This land is my land. From the high Himalaya to Cape Comorin. That's all. It goes like this. Not teaching you, but just singing. This land is your land. This land is my land. From the high Himalaya to the Cape Comorin, from the Gulf of Cambay to the Brahmaputra. This land was made for you and you're wonderful. As I went walking down the Tribunal Highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, and I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Your turn now. Sing it again so that I can accompany you on this. Well, I roamed and I rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of the river Ganges, while all around me a voice was calling. This land was made for you and me. One more time with feeling. This land is your land. This land is my land. From the high Himalaya to the Cape Comorin, from the Gulf of Cambay to the Brahmaputra. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Thank you.
He ran away before I could give him a hug. Wow. This land was really made for you and me and for all those other creatures that we look to save, without whom we could do nothing. Thank you, Susmit. I mean, music actually does cross all barriers, and when merged with head and heart and purpose, it takes on a strength all its own. We will make a difference, and we will give our children a better world. We just have to work with nature to do that. So, look, There are a whole lot of people who are not here today. I've worked with them for a very long time, and I just want to remember them because this is not a 100-meter dash, it's a long-distance relay race, and batons are picked up and passed. I'm not going into great detail. Sanctuary is going to be writing about them, so by the way, you all get one copy of Sanctuary, the digital copy of this one, so all these things are in there. Anne Wright was somebody else, somebody who post-independence defined the kind of conservation that we have now. She worked with a lot of people. Salim Ali, they're too long to name, but Anne Wright was somebody who, she virtually created the opportunity for WWF India to be born. She worked to get the Wildlife Protection Acts run together with a lot of bureaucrats. She just lived her entire life, and she also happens to be one of the people who in 2010 won the Sanctuary Lifetime Service Award. I miss Anne, and her daughter Belinda Wright is sitting down in Kanha somewhere looking after the Kipling camp, which Anne had started. And I think the last things that Anne must have heard was an alarm call and a cheetal and a tiger roar or something like this. Anne, we'll miss you. There is Ramki Srinivasan. I mean, he started something called Conservation India. I met him something like maybe 15 or 20 years ago. And he was a techie, you know, and all. He did what techies do. He did a whole lot of things, and he really loved nature, and he sold this thing for a sum of money. And then he put it all into protecting wildlife. And Ramki went a little too soon. I would just say this, that he is still working because the institution that he started is actually continuing, and it's supporting small people across so many places, including in Nagaland where the Amur falcon, he gave the first seed money to people to go up over there. And it's a long story, we won't go into that. But I mentioned Aditya Dicky Singh. He was, like me, he was influenced by Fateh Singh Rathore. He was a bureaucrat. Life was settled. All his life, nobody could sack him. All that, he gave it all up. And he wanted to be nearby, so he started something called the Ranthambore Bagh. Naira, you're here somewhere. I still can't see you anywhere. Where? Okay, Naira, can I hear you say, I love you? Where are you? The tiger, not me. Come on, little one. All right, don't have to say anything. Huh? Did I hear that? Listen, Naira, we love you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You just be where you are. We love your dad. We love you. And Poonam was not well. She couldn't be here with us. I wanted to remember her. Dilip Khatau, what do I say about you, you know? I mean, when we started Sanctuary, Hemendra, in 1981, there were so many people. It was Fateh Singh, of course, who triggered me and said, "Tum Bombay wale log, tum bekar ho, ya jaake party karoge, aur phir main kya karunga," and not, you know. But I gave him a magazine. And when I took the magazine to Dilip Khatau, he looked at it for 5 minutes, sitting at the Bombay Gymkhana, and like an expectant father, I was wondering, abhi kya bolenge? So all he said was, this has been a long, waited for thing. How can I help you to make sure it doesn't close now? You know, so he supported us for a very long time, the Corbett Foundation. Reena, you're here somewhere. I can't see you. But he and Reena Khatau have helped us. And we will continue to work for the dream that Dilip had of having a greener, wilder, nicer, safer country. And the Corbett Foundation and Reena Khatau, and you will know as we go on, other people over here in this hall, we cannot but look at the past if we want to negotiate our future. And it's very strange for me to even think of speaking of people in the past like this who've been so there. I was going to be there all the time. But that's how it is. We come, we go, many of us in the departure lounge anyway. So here we are. Look, but I want to talk to you about some people who are right here. They're actually here, all right? So, and they're making a huge difference. They're making a huge difference, and I want you to first meet the Carter Road cleanup team. I mean, Harold Fernandez, Ashwin Malwade, Frisha Bowman Beram, Mansi Desai, Nupur Agarwal. Please stand so we can see you. They keep standing, all right? They're a true citizens movement supported by the Ek Saath Foundation. You have successfully roped in students, residents, NGOs, NSS units, corporates, and even the Indian Navy as volunteers to collect the mountains of plastic and cement construction waste dumped on the Bandra shoreline. From just 4, your army has grown. After 100 purposeful weekend cleanups, you have motivated thousands to help clean Carter Road's beaches and mangroves. On behalf of the birds, marine organisms, and the children of tomorrow, we thank you. Carter Road cleanup team, bless you. You're making a huge difference. You know, people make differences in their own ways, and like the diversity of a forest, we have somebody. Jinali Mody, would you stand up, please? Where are you? There you are, Jinali. You know, I mean, you'll never believe what she's doing. I didn't believe it at first, you know. She's an innovator, she's an entrepreneur, she's a climate warrior. While the rest of the world wrings its hands, you, Jinali, went about creating a vegan, sustainable alternative to animal hides. And you call it Benoffee leather. I thought Benoffee was something to eat. But in one fell stroke, you addressed the problems of banana crop waste, animal cruelty in the leather industry, and its polluting discharge, which is very important. Your initiative prevents toxic waste generation, provides farmers with additional income, and by upcycling crop waste, you are a creative and determined planet protector. Jinali Mody, what a difference you're making. Thank you. See, right here in the hall, we can do this. Dharmesh Barai, please stand. Where are you? I have to keep searching. Dharmesh, Salam Saab. He's a green warrior, he's an environmentalist, he's a change catalyst. He works to protect our natural and public spaces for over 15 years. I mean, Environment Life, what you founded in 2008, has organized tree plantations, protection drives, and cleanups at waterfalls, rivers. Quietly, he's been doing this thing all the time. You successfully involve the local administration, residents, school and college children, villagers, and corporate employees. You plant mangroves as well. Mangroves are something that propagate themselves, but where we've damaged it, they do need some help to come back. I mean, you have a bunch of soldiers working for you, and thank them through you for doing this. You're a testimony to the importance of a person who will not stand by and just watch other people work. You did it yourself. Thank you very much. You've made a huge difference. It's just the truth. You don't have to be the same thing. You know, somebody does this, so everybody wants to do that. I can't be a forest guard. I would have loved to be a forest guard, but I can't be a forest guard. I'm an editor, you know. So like the diversity of a forest, I said that you have to be, you take what you do. If you're a poet, write poetry. If you're a singer, you use song. And we have here Professor Radhika D'Souza. Please stand. You know, I mean, the descriptors are there. Green warrior, inspirational teacher, and nurturer of all things wild and free, and including our children. Your 3-decade tryst with nature has had a transformative impact on your students and neighborhood communities. You have created a community through workshops, camps, nature experiences that highlight, again, the value of the mangroves that he is also working on. You see how it all comes together. And yes, I mean, it is education, but it's much more than education that you're doing. I mean, you are helping to create future naturalists who will not wait for the right thing to be done by somebody else. They will do it themselves, and you will be the ones who are helping the doers of tomorrow, and thank you very much for that. You're making a huge difference. Radhika, you're a catalyst for action for our natural world. And I really am humbled. Zafar, it's time for me to sit back, put my glasses on, which I couldn't read with my glasses on. So Zafar, it's your stage.
Thank you.
I wish you very well.
Thanks,
Look after
Bittu.
these lovely people.
I will. I, for one, have to say, Bittu, I am overwhelmed. Thank you. You know, people really can make a difference, can't they? Irrespective of where they are and what they do in life. Clearly, if a lot of us do a little, a lot gets done. And for those of us who believe that our focus should solely be on adults for conservation efforts, let me introduce you to a shining example. His name is Sahir Doshi. Once a Kids for Tigers enthusiast at just 12 years old, now he's a phenomenal rapper, musician, and a devoted conservationist. 30 years ago, Bittu came up with this line, his famous catchphrase, "Apna farz nibhayenge, tiger ko bachayenge." Today, we're going to hear a brand new spin on it. Sahir, our extraordinary, not so little jungle boy, please take it away.
For my kids for tigers, past, present, and future. If you know this, sing along. If you don't, you'll catch it soon enough. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, टाइगर को बचाएंगे. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, जंगल को बचाएंगे. पानी बरसाएंगे, हम नदियों को भी बचा लेंगे. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे. क्या करेंगे? ऐसे खुद को भी बचा लेंगे. टाइगर बस प्राणी नहीं, पूरा सारा सिंबल है. सुनो जरा कहानी, ये लॉजिक काफी सिंपल है. जहाँ पे रहेगी बागड़नी, वहाँ किरणों की आबादी कितनी भारी. पेड़ झाड़ी भी प्यारी, हवा साफ, मिट्टी ताजी. उसकी हाजिरी से ही मिलती स्थान के स्वास्थ्य की निशानी. जहाँ से मिले पानी, हमारी जिंदगानी. तो जंगल से जल चल के हर नल में आए, वही नदी की माँ, क्यों ना माँ को बचाए. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, टाइगर को बचाएंगे. अपनी फर्ज निभाएंगे, जंगल को बचाएंगे. पानी बरसाएंगे, हम नदियों को भी बचा लेंगे. Let it pour. Should we change it up a bit? बचा लेंगे. Expand it. ले रहा हूँ टाइगर का नाम, बट है और कोई काम. देना चिड़ियों को, भेड़ियों को, गौर को भी दाम. ये मैंगो ट्री जो दे माहौल को विश्राम. ये मैंग्रोव ट्री जो करे स्टॉर्म को भी काम. हम इन पे है निर्भर, इस पे शोर हो आवाम. है ना दूसरी कोई धरती, है ना और कोई धाम. तो नंदा देवी, गंगा देवी, थार टू आसाम. अरावलियों को निकोबारी शोर से सलाम. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे. Everyone stand up, put your hands up. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, जंगल को बचाएंगे. पानी का क्या? बरसाएंगे. पानी का क्या? को भी बचा लेंगे. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, ऐसे को. This is the easy part. टाइगर से जंगल, जंगल से जल, जल से जिंदगी. You can follow along this one. Let's go. टाइगर से जंगल, everybody. जंगल से जल, get in the माटी. जल से जिंदगी. Life is water and water is life. So अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, टाइगर को बचाएंगे. अपना फर्ज निभाएंगे, जंगल को बचाएंगे. We're at the Sanctuary Awards. Is it striking a chord? Will the Lords hear the horde? ऐसे हम खुद को बचा लेंगे. Honor the Grah Rakshak. Honor those who have इस धरती पे हक. Honor those who fight the Narbhakshak. Honor those who fight अपने मरने तक. Thank you so much, Sanctuary. Jai Jungle, Samundari Salam, and Mubarak to all the Earth heroes.
Thank you, Sahir. Thank you. I think I speak for all of us when I say, "Apna farz nibhate raho, kudrat ko bachate raho." Thank you so much. What an incredible collective we are today, aren't we? And we all crave and hope inspiration, and tonight we've witnessed and will continue to witness just that. Look, we might not be on the front lines like the Earth Defenders, but we can stand beside them, amplify their efforts with our support. Inside those beautiful tiger-themed bags that you've all been gifted, you'll find a small pledge card and a pen. With just a few words, you can contribute immensely to Sanctuary's mission. As you leave tonight, please drop your filled-out pledge cards into glass bowls held by Sanctuary's dedicated young volunteers as you exit the auditorium. The amount you pledge is less important than the moral support and ratification of our mission. So thank you. Incidentally, a free download of the Sanctuary December 2023 issue is downloadable using the QR code on the Sanctuary table outside. Of course, we'd all love for you to subscribe as well to the digital Sanctuary Cub magazines too. Every subscription you buy or gift empowers the Earth Defenders we've been celebrating and honoring as an article of faith. Tonight we celebrate the embodiment of a profound truth. Safeguarding our planet is an act of true patriotism. The individuals you're about to meet aren't just champions of the Earth. They are the very essence of dedicated guardianship. Their vision extends far beyond their own time, striving for a world where our descendants can freely drink from unpolluted rivers and where the melodies of nature drown out the clamor of conflict. They are the Asli Dharti Sevaks, genuine earth defenders, weaving a legacy of harmony between humanity and the environment. You know the line written by Kavi Pradeep in his immortal song, Aao Bacho Tumhe Dikhaye. It goes, Is mitti se tilak karo, ye dharti hai balidan ki. जिन लोगों से आप आज मिलने जा रहे हैं, वो हमारे देश के असली धरती सेवक हैं. So do sit back and take strength from what they live for. These green teachers worship Bagro Bahini and have dedicated their lives in educating young people to defend the tiger's home in one of the most unique cross-boundary forests in the world. Get ready to meet these wildlife conservation campaigners, bound by both marriage and a shared passion for preserving our wild, natural world.
The forest is forever in conversation. Trees below ground always reach for each other. They speak, they gather, they share. Birds in canopies gossip about fruit-bearing trees and trunks with the sweetest sap. Tigers prowl, silently leaving messages for each other. I was here. Trespassers, beware. It is this never-ceasing exchange of stories and information that keeps the forest in balance. But as a species with more languages than we can count, we humans don't seem to communicate too well. Not with each other, not with the forest. This is where Suchandra and Joydip Kundu come in. In the fragile ecosystem of the Sundarbans, these green teachers have been facilitating conversations between local communities and the West Bengal Forest Department. Through their NGO, SHARE, they consult with forest-dependent people to provide optional livelihoods and ready them for the climate changes ahead, so that the forest is largely left alone, so that fewer trespassers disturb the territory of the Royal Bengal tiger. This husband and wife team have set up community resource centers, hold regular meetings, and share solutions for tomorrow for the people of the Sundarban, particularly the young. Suchandra and Joydip look upon the world's largest mangrove tiger forest as home. For building bridges between the forest staff, fisherfolk, honey trappers, and the citizens of Kolkata. For being the voice of the tenacious people of the Sundarban, the protectors of the tiger and the tiger itself. Sanctuary honors them.
Well, nature is being plundered every day, every hour, and we are losing our wildlife and their habitats in jet speed.
This is a SOS situation for the environment, and now it's the time to be on the field and be a solution.
And this is what keeps us going every single day.
To present the award, may I request Reena Khatau, the chairman and co-founder of the Corbett Foundation, to please join us on stage. This way, right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sanctuary Green Teacher Award 2023 goes to the incredible couple, Joydip and Suchandra Kundu.
চন্দ্রবদন চন্দ্রকায় শার্দুল বাহন দক্ষিণ রায় ঢাল তরোয়াল টাঙ্গি হস্তে দক্ষিণ রায় নমস্তুতে সবাইকে ব্যাঘ্র তেজ নমস্কার
Well, we are truly humbled and we are thankful to Sanctuary Nature Foundation and all. And we really think that we have not achieved much in comparison to this great honor that we are receiving in front of you today. Our hearts are filled with the spirit of the tiger and the forest. So we dedicate this award to Dokhin Rai, the tiger god, and Ma Bagro Bahini. And in this in this hour of pride, I'm so excited. We dedicate this award to our Guru, Sri Fateh Singh Rathore, our driving force, Dr. Pradeep Vyas, our idol, Mr. Bittu Sahgal, the people and the foresters of Sundarban Tiger Reserve, our friends who form Sher, and Srimati Chaya Dotto, who has been the constant pillar of support for us. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Reena Khatau. You know, Dilip Khatau and his wife, Reena, who we just met, they handpicked a seasoned wildlife conservationist, an environmental educator, and a strategic champion for nature to lead the Corbett Foundation, the legacy they passionately built. It's time to meet the individual to whom they entrusted their life's mission.
Theories are great ideas at best. Some of them are impossible to test. Butterfly fluttering its wings can cause a hurricane elsewhere. Kedar Gore was all of 10 and probably had no idea of the butterfly effect when he pointed his binoculars skyward and saw a bird beating its wings on its way home. Never mind the hurricanes. What is certain is that in that moment, Kedar felt a stirring within his heart. A stirring that swelled into fascination and soon into ambition, which flourished into tireless action. Kedar's story is there for all to see, written in the triumphs of the Corbett Foundation, of which he has been director since 2009. In the numerous publications that continue to offer the world with invaluable insights, and even in the newfound radiance of once barren lands that he helped restore. From birds on the brink of extinction to beasts just brought back from erasure. Kedar's efforts as wildlife conservationist and environmental consultant have impacted research as much as livelihoods and sustainable conservation as much as community upliftment. The simple act of watching a bird in the sky, what can it do for you? Ask Kedar Gore, for his incredible story is shining example of theory becoming truth. For inspiring, for leading, for preserving, for persevering, for becoming, Sanctuary expresses its deepest gratitude.
Wildlife conservation needs solutions at all levels, from the grassroots to the policy, to preserve the biodiversity and mitigate habitat loss. I am thankful to WWF India, Terry, and Dilip and Reena Khatau, the founders of the Corbett Foundation, for all the opportunities in the last 25 years to contribute to this cause.
To present the award, may I please call upon Cyrus Gazdar, the Chairman and Managing Director of AFL Private Limited, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2023 goes to Kedar Girish Gore. Thank you, Mr. Gazdar. Thank you.
Well, I'm too excited, so I've written something on this paper, lest I forget. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm truly humbled to receive the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2023. I'm grateful to Mr. Bittu Sahgal, who has been an inspiration since my childhood, and to the entire Sanctuary Nature Foundation team, DSP Mutual Fund, the Kothari Group, for conferring this honor. This will keep inspiring me to contribute to the cause of nature conservation to the best of my abilities. Thank you will be an understatement when it comes to the unconditional love of my family who are here. But on this momentous occasion, I deeply acknowledge the unstinted support and encouragement of my family who has always stood behind me. I have no words to express my wife's support in this wonderful journey. It has been an absolute privilege to work with all my colleagues from the Corbett Foundation, past colleagues from WWF India, Terry and Vasanchet Foundation, and my nature-loving friends from the media, associates from BNHS, IUCN, and many other organizations that I'm associated with. I've learned so much from each one of them and has helped me immensely while pursuing many conservation goals. I would like to share this award with all of them. I have always been a team member, and this truly belongs to all of them. On this occasion, I dearly miss Mr. Dilip Khatau, who greatly influenced my journey as a conservationist, but I'm really glad that I am receiving this award in front of Mrs. Reena Dilip Khatau, Mr. Sam Mistry, our trustee, and other well-wishers of the Corbett Foundation. And last but not the least, I dedicate this award to all the dedicated green soldiers of the forest departments and from the NGOs who work tirelessly to protect the country's natural treasures, literally 24/7, and have collectively ensured that India is globally acknowledged as a leader in nature conservation. Thank you all, and Jai Hind.
In the blink of an eye, the fate of our next awardee was sealed. A mere glimpse of piercing Tiger's eyes ignited a passion that altered the course of his life forever. Like a moth to a flame, he was drawn to the forest he cherishes and strives to safeguard.
To venture into a forest and then to look into the eyes of a tiger. Could you lose your job for doing that? Hans Dalal will tell you that you could, only if you wanted to. Because doing that is exactly what made him ditch his profession as a sound engineer to become a tiger defender and filmmaker. An encounter with the beast not only influenced his career, but it also completely realigned his inner landscape, filling it with a sense of direction, responsibility, and purpose. Always a lover of wild spaces, Hans switched gears from admiration to action and volunteered with Tiger Watch in Ranthambore, learning all he could about conservation, poaching and anti-poaching under the watchful eyes of his mentor, Fateh Singh Rathore. He founded Prowl, an NGO that works with local departments and local communities in tiger territories across Maharashtra and Karnataka. Prowl tracks tiger movement, monitors human-tiger conflict, conducts training for forest guards and villagers, and works with local communities to reduce forest dependence. Through his organization, Hans worked extensively to rehabilitate poachers through music and expression. Who would have known that a mere few moments spent watching a tiger could have inspired all of this? For making tiger conservation sustainable, for empowering frontline staff, for working tirelessly with ex-poachers to replace the desire to hunt with the tenderness to feel wonder, for making a brave stand against cerebral palsy and becoming a beacon of hope. Sanctuary applauds his efforts.
The way I see my role in wildlife conservation is to assist the forest department in whatever they need, and also to reduce the dependency of local communities on the forests and change their attitude towards wildlife and forests. And what keeps me going is knowing that there are forests and tigers and animals happy and living in the jungles.
To present this award, may I please request Rupa Satish, Head Corporate and Investment Banking, CSR and Sustainable Banking, IndusInd Bank, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2023 goes to Hans Dalal.
Years I came here only for the beer. This is the first time I'm actually getting an award. I want to thank Bittu Sahgal and the entire Sanctuary team for the beer. Sorry for the award. I want to thank my mom and dad who actually got me to stand on my own feet, literally. And they also pushed me to go to camps in the Himalayas where my love for nature started. I also want to thank my friends and family who are here and everywhere for supporting my passion. And my Uncle Mickey, who's here somewhere, for showing me my first tiger and supporting me every step of the way. Mickey Mama, thanks. And last but not least, I want to thank my partner, Avantika, who got me to get off my lazy ass and do something that makes a difference with my life. So thanks.
Hans, tu chal main aaya. The legacy of Dr. Salim Ali, whose passion for birds and science has left an indelible mark on Indian conservation. Through his teachings, countless individuals have embraced the wonders of nature. And now we shine our spotlight on our next awardee, a remarkable woman whose journey is intertwined with Dr. Salim Ali's teachings. This is her story.
Only when night comes do we see the stars. But until then, there are birds. What are birds but stars of a day-bright sky? Like the gas giants, they too are pulsing, catching and reflecting light. The wonder of them is available to anybody who can gaze up and marvel at the sky, even if you are a sari-clad tea shop owner in Thattikad. Sudamma once used to supply tea and snacks to scientists and researchers visiting the Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary in Thattikad, Kerala. Dr. Sugathan, a BNHS scientist, caught Sudamma's curiosity for birds and enrolled her in a student's program. And soon, this bright-eyed, dynamic tea shop owner had turned into a licensed guide. Ever since, Sudamma has been leading people on bird walks and hosting ornithologists and bird watchers at her homestay. Like stars, birds are too many to count, but Sudamma has identified about 165 species and is known to rattle off names at the speed of light. For years, she has led countless people on bird walks while also assisting on research projects. Through the personal loss of losing a life partner at a young age, through adversity, through cancer, through injury, through doubts, Suchandran's gaze has never shifted from the sky above. Without wings, she has mastered the art of flight. For her curiosity, for her energy, for being the lady guide and protector of Thattikad, Sanctuary celebrates her story.
My advice to every woman is to tap into the strengths they have and for John. Never let anyone take you for granted or take advantage of you. Thank you.
To present the award, may I please request Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, Chairman of Bajaj Electricals Limited, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2023 goes to Sujata M.V., more popularly known as Sudamma. Thank you very much, Mr. Bajaj.
I am Sudama. I am coming from Kerala, Bird Sanctuary, Thattikad. I am a widow, 34 years I am a widow. I know very well birds and nature. I love nature. I believe nature is our temple. I am teaching some new generation. That is my temple. You pray and you protect the nature. Please, I bend my head before you. Please, you give me such a great, wonderful award and a great moments me. Thank you for the Sanctuary Award and thank you for the awardees. Thank you so much.
Let's now take a moment to honor those courageous souls who operate from within the system, safeguarding what is invaluable to each of us. You know, they put it all on the line, their very lives, often far from their loved ones, just to keep the flickering flames of nature's raw beauty burning bright.
Dear sir, the forest is not a convenience store. There is one man who leads a team who has had to state this reminder more than they would have liked. His name is Ritesh Sarothia. You may not take more than you need. You may not take what you shouldn't. You may not encroach, kill, or steal. Ritesh Sarothia and his team are part of the Indian Forest Service in Madhya Pradesh, the state with the largest forest cover in India. The forest and every creature that calls it home is protected by the law, and we are here to uphold it. And that is all he has done through the many positions he has served in the Forest Department since 2009. Ritesh's adventures in pursuit of justice and enforcement could all be headlines themselves. Over 700 arrests in 6 years. Deployed dog squads called super sniffers across all tiger reserves in Madhya Pradesh. Fastest conviction of a pangolin case. Highest conviction in tiger poaching case. International syndicate of turtle smugglers busted. Successful capture of poacher with 30 tiger hides and 1,200 leopard hides. Infamous tiger poacher arrested after 6 years on the run. Ritesh Sarothia's list of achievements continue to stack up with every passing day. But the thing is, Ritesh and his team wish it wasn't so. That people across regions didn't have to poach, plunder or steal from the forest. That people gave more than they took and treated forests as the sacred spaces that they have always been. For his vigilant conviction, for his unceasing contributions, for his remarkable spirit, Sanctuary celebrates and honors him.
वर्तमान के इस तकनीकी युग में जहां सभी प्रकार की जैव विविधता पे लगातार प्रहार हो रहे हैं, जिसको हम क्लाइमेट चेंज के रूप में बोल सकते हैं, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग में बोल सकते हैं, हैबिटेट डिस्ट्रक्शंस की बात होती है या जूनोटिक डिसीज, इन सभी के प्रति लगातार हमें प्रयास करते रहना होगा ताकि हम न केवल इन वन्य प्राणी जैव विविधता का संरक्षण कर रहे हैं, बल्कि मानव सभ्यता को भी हम सस्टेनेबल लाइफ की तरह रख पाएं।
To present the award, may I request Aditya Agarwal, Managing Director of Morningstar India Limited, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2023 goes to Ritesh Sarothia and the MP State Tiger Strike Force, Raju Singh Rajput, Mukesh Patil, Chandrasekhar Sharma and Ravi Sharma. Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. Thank you. Ritesh ji, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much, Sanctuary, and all other prestigious co-sponsored organizations for giving the award to a team, especially the Forest Department Law Enforcement team. Let me say a few words about this our team, because I think perhaps the only Madhya Pradesh who has created such a wonderful, robust institutional mechanism, that is the MPST wildlife, to combat the organized wildlife crime. Later government add forest-related organized crime and then the biodiversity-related crime. Where we are only having the forest officer a different role. They are the one who detecting the crime. They are the one who are investigating the crime. They are working they are doing the cyber patrolling, cyber analyst, and then even they are preserving the evidences, physical evidences from the scene of crime, then even sometimes the digital evidences, then we are effectively producing before a court. And even sometimes we are even assisting the prosecutions. And that's lead to the wonderful result. We are the one, lucky enough, we are getting the highest conviction in tiger poaching cases, fastest conviction in pangolin cases. Even so many matter even reaches up to the High Court, even Supreme Court. So definitely this credit goes to our senior officers and the wonderful team, the Green Soldier, and that the result we are here. And definitely still long way to go, but such recognition really boost up our confidence. Once again, thank you so much to all those who are supporting us. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Many of us fight for our precious biosphere with remote controls from the comfort of our homes. But let's pause and acknowledge the ones trekking through the forests, battling infernos, safeguarding our beloved tigers from heartless poachers. They shatter barriers, especially the brave women, fearlessly stepping into roles traditionally deemed dangerous, often excelling where men falter. Tonight, let's celebrate one such brave heart.
The forest floor is a record keeper. Who walked here? How long ago? Which way? How heavy? How old? Who slithered left to right and then back again? Who ate the fruit and dropped the seeds? Who stripped the bark and walked away? Who led their young down the river on a parched summer day? For those curious, the answers are all there, pressed into mud, like stories scribbled in invisible ink. Seen frequently along the trails of Savai Madhopur are a set of prints. Human. Boots, size 7. They belong to the officer in charge of the Neem Chowka checkpost, Seema Meena. A key member of the Ranthambore frontline staff, Seema has patrolled on foot hundreds of kilometers each week with her team of tireless forest staff. Her gait has been slow, measured, observant when tracking tigers, and then quick, light-footed and bold when in pursuit of poachers. Over the past decade, Seema has been responsible for countless arrests of hunters, encroachers, miners and criminals. Seema is also an assistant forest officer in Project Tiger and has participated in education drives across the schools in the region. In a world that sometimes says, frontline work in the forest is no job for women, Seema Meena's fierce dedication to her post is a wordless, defiant, "Watch me." And watch her we will as she continues to inspire the generations of frontline staff that will follow in her footprints. For her unshakable will, for her giant heart, Sanctuary salutes her.
मुझे बचपन से पेड़ पौधे लगाने का बहुत शौक था। मेरा गांव जंगल के पास में है। वहां पर वन विभाग के अधिकारी आते थे। वो हमें वन एवं वन जीवों के बारे में समझाते थे। उनसे ही मुझे प्रेरणा मिली कि मुझे बड़ी होकर वन एवं वन जीवों को बचाना है और बच्चों को भी प्रेरित करती हूँ कि प्रकृति को बचाना है।
To present the award, may I please request Zia Lal Kaka, CEO, H.T Parekh Foundation, and a strong supporter of environmental and social initiatives, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2023 goes to Seema Meena. Thank you, Zia Lal Kaka. Thank you.
सेंचुरी नेचर फाउंडेशन फैमिली का मैं बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि मुझे वाइल्ड लाइफ अवार्ड के लिए बुलाया और मेरा एक ही उद्देश्य है वन एवं वन जीव को बचाना। वो मैं कर रही हूँ और आगे भी करती रहूँगी। थैंक यू।
With 2 books under her belt, this accomplished Carnatic vocalist is a committed young woman and a torchbearer for a generation of eco-warriors destined to lead us to a better tomorrow.
Aswati knew that if she held a seashell to the ear, she could hear the sea. But hearing was not enough. She wanted to listen to the shores and the tides and the trees and all the life around. What were their stories? She walked patiently and observed with great curiosity until they all began to reveal themselves. Aswati knew these stories were not meant to be secrets. They were meant to be sanctuaries that everyone could belong to. She co-authored books, field guides, and research papers on the fragile coastal treasures of Tamil Nadu. A nature educator and program coordinator at the Palliur Trust for Nature Education and Research, she led countless nature walks for children and developed nature-based learning resources. She co-ran programs that invoked a sense of fascination and ownership in fisher children, using a variety of nature-based learning resources. Her participation in legal advocacy and biodiversity surveys played a crucial role in strengthening conversations on the urgent need to protect various ecosystems. In encouraging documentation in the native language, Aswati has greatly contributed to the preservation of local knowledge. For making nature accessible, for empowering the youth and children of climate-vulnerable communities, for being the lighthouse that points innumerable children in the direction of their ecological inheritances, for being the reason countless young minds stand before their oceans, swamps, marshes, estuaries, wetlands, and ask, "What is your story?" For being all this while being a student herself, Sanctuary offers immense gratitude.
For me, the pure joy of watching a child or even an adult transfixedly engaged in watching an ant, a spider, a tree, a crab, by just observing something about that creature or just knowing its name, is immeasurable and undoubtedly become the highest, happiest points in whatever I've done.
To present the award, may I request Burgess Godrej, Managing Director, Godrej Agrovet, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Young Naturalist Award for 2023 goes to Ashwati Ashokan. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Godrej.
Good evening. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you very, very much Sanctuary for honoring me with this award. Thank you very much, Bittu sir. I'm very, very grateful to all the people who've been part of my journey, who've inspired me, who've motivated me to do whatever I do. Also, immensely grateful to a bunch of organizations that I've worked with in Chennai and in Pune. In Chennai, the Young Naturalists Network, where I started off, the Madras Naturalist Society, Palliur Trust, and even Chennai Climate Action Group, who've been very, very supportive of whatever I've wanted to do and really motivated me. And also in Pune, my university, Bharati Vidyapeeth, who've been very supportive in my career and everything I've done alongside of it. This recognition of my work is, I believe, not only a recognition for me, but also a recognition for all the youngsters of my generation who really choose to take this path and do something really, really wonderful. There's so many people across the country doing such wonderful work, and I'm inspired by them every day, and I really, really hope our whole generation does not lose hope. You all inspire me every day. Thank you very, very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to bestow the prestigious Sanctuary Lifetime Service Award for 2023. For 24 years, this award has celebrated extraordinary individuals devoted to understanding and safeguarding our precious natural world. We seek out those ethical souls who lead by shining example, offering inspiration to the next generation. And this year, we've discovered someone truly exceptional. A force of dedication, tirelessly working to protect not just the biosphere, but every living being, including us, Homo sapiens.
It probably began with a conversation. on a motorbike, zipping through muddy trails in the countryside, riding pillion with a man who knew birds like birds knew the sky. He spoke endlessly of the birds and the trees where they nested and the forests where the trees grew. This is how little Airach came to meet and make room in his heart for the wonder of nature. That man on the motorbike was Dr. Salim Ali, and little Airach listened all he could until it was time to make all that wonder mean something more. He grew up. His business card read surgeon, but his heart screamed nature. He knew that the wonder he felt meant nothing if it wasn't going to be shared. For the next 50 years and more, he photographed and wrote, educated and advocated, taught and mentored. His photographs dazzled eyes, and his words inspired minds. He became director and head of Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Environmental Education and Research. A member and executive of institutions like the Bombay Natural History Society, WWF, and the Wildlife Institute of India. He authored a textbook on environmental studies and many books on nature conservation and sustainable development. He also authored the book Salim Ali, the Charismatic Birdman. From riding pillion on the motorbike, listening to stories, to steering the ship for innumerable young minds, Airach Bharucha has become the voice that inspires the stewards of our natural wealth. For making all that wonder mean something, Sanctuary salutes him.
Involving young people in conservation to me is such an important thing, and whatever little I can do for that and contribute to that is what I would like to be doing and continue to do. And appreciating nature, its intimacy with it, being immersed in nature is, I think, what keeps me going.
To present the award, may I request Mr. Hemendra Kothari, Chairperson, DSP Investment Managers, one of Sanctuary's strongest supporters, to please join us on stage. In recognition of his unyielding dedication to conservation education, his profound affinity for the wilderness, his altruistic contributions to the Bombay Natural History Society, and his unrelenting zeal for the natural world, we proudly present Dr. Airach Bharucha with Sanctuary's Lifetime Service Award for 2023. Thank you very much, Mr. Kothari. Thank you, sir. Doctor, the stage is yours, by the way.
Thank you very much. It's very difficult, Bittu, for a professor who speaks for hours to be dumbfounded today. It's a very special day in my life because I would have never expected something like this to happen. I don't know whether Bittu remembers that the first article that I wrote for a magazine was in Sanctuary magazine. Very interestingly, it was not a very special species. I selected the black-winged kite, and then I selected the black-winged stilt. And these were the two birds I wrote about. And they were common birds. And it was very surprising that people wrote back to me because they were common birds. I have to say something today, Bittu. I don't think I really deserve this award. But there were people I interacted with over many years, from my very young days, who made me what I am today. And of course, the first was shown already, Salim Bhai, who was like part of my family. And yes, I rode on his motorcycle, but I had to do something in return. Every time I got a ride on the bike, I would have to show him a new colony of bayas around Pune. The second person who influenced my life was Sorabji Godrej, who appreciated the work I did with school children in villages. And it was incredible that this huge age difference didn't matter between us. And today I realized what a huge soul he was. He wore a black ribbon on his shoulder very often. And every time I would ask him, Sorabji, I shoot it. So he would always have a different conservation reason for having that black tag. That was his personal message, the way to communicate something to people, which goes directly from one heart to another. The third person who really influenced my life was Sumant Mulgaonkar. And Sumant Mulgaonkar of Telco really made a huge difference in my life, because we sat and discussed, how do you restore a place? What do you do to an industry to make it greener? This was years ago. This was a huge dream of his. And then I inherited from his wife his beautiful pictures of tribal people taken in the 1960s. I followed his footsteps all through the country, showing what he had seen and what I was seeing 25 years later. And the last of them was the greatest educationist I've ever come across. His name was Dr. Patagrao Kadam, and he initiated Bharati Vidyapith, where he made me start this environmental institute. Without him, I would have never been able to influence the lives of so many, many young people. And his dream was that this kind of education, environment education, should reach every village child, because he came from a village. And this is what I did over the last so many years. A huge depth. So thank you very much, Bittu, for having given me this award. It's been a great evening. Thank you very much.
Dr. Barucha, thank you. You know, you inspire us all. You are a doctor in every sense of the word. You cure human beings and you work for the health and security of every other life form on the planet as well. What a fantastic evening it's been, wouldn't you say? A special thank you to the NCPA for this wonderful space tonight. Thank you all for gracing us with your presence tonight. And as we bid adieu, please don't rush off just yet. Join us in the splendid upper and lower balconies of the NCPA for some drinks and engaging conversations. And of course, seek out one of Sanctuary's bright young volunteers and hand in your pledge card to donate and subscribe. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all our Earth Defenders to join us once more on stage. Please, everyone. Let's give them the thunderous applause that they deserve. And Bittu, can we have you on stage as well, please? On stage, please. Now's the time to take out your cameras and click photographs of this wonderful group of people. And please share this. Ladies and gentlemen, the awardees for Sanctuary's 2023 Wildlife Awards. You're free to come up on stage and take photos with them if you like as well. Thank you everyone for your presence here tonight. We're truly blessed. Thank you, good night, and God bless.